Hello everyone, my name is Tomas Ostrov, and this is my cultural timeline video. Today, I will be focusing on my experience with my favorite baseball team, the Baltimore Orioles. So, the Baltimore Orioles are a team based, obviously, in Baltimore, Maryland. During my life, they found mixed results, from a joyful 101 wins in 2023 to an abysmal 115 losses in 2018. Despite these results, I've always been at least a little bit of a fan, although my opinion has waxed and waned over the years. When I was born, the Orioles tried their best to convince me not to become an Orioles fan. They got off to a great start when they had their worst season since 2001. They then rebounded from this by doing it again the following year. However, their methods of convincing me didn't work, and I'm still here repping the Orioles gear. So, being an Orioles fan has been passed down through my dad's side of the family. My dad's parents were Orioles fans. My dad was an Orioles fan. My dad's stepfather was an Orioles fan. It was just natural for me to become an Orioles fan. My mom didn't watch baseball, so there wasn't a second team. So that's what I became. I remember picking my favorite player early in life, J.J. Hardy. This decision came as a result of multiple factors. Myself, I attribute it to being 2 when I made the decision, because J.J. Hardy wore number 2 during his whole career. My parents, however, they attribute it to J.J. Hardy hitting the foul ball that I got, the only one I got as a child, and the only one I have now. Whatever the reason, J.J. Hardy became my favorite player from then until he retired in 2017. I was always an Orioles fan, and I'd go to as many games as I could. My grandparents had season tickets, so when my grandparents just couldn't go to a game, me and my family were always there to just pick up the tickets, buy an extra ticket for my brother, and go to the game. Had a great day. Beautiful day under the sun, if it wasn't too hot. In addition, in elementary school, my family had cable, so we just watched any game we could on TV on Masson, and this would bring us together as a family. However, there was a problem when I got into middle school. Multiple factors caused me to become less of an Orioles fan. Firstly, we got rid of cable. We were using Netflix and other streaming services more, which meant that my family just didn't find an economical reason to buy cable just for one channel. What that meant was I couldn't watch the Orioles games at my house, and I just watched fewer games in general. Alongside this, for any Orioles fans who know, was the dreaded tank fest between 2018 and 2021. The Orioles just kept losing games because they were pursuing a bunch of good draft picks. This would come around later in the story to be a great boon to our team, at least for 3 years, but during that time it was just dreadful. I wasn't watching much baseball these years because I didn't really find a reason to. In addition, I also became scared of baseball and less of a baseball fan in general. In rec league, I got hit a couple times during my last season, and that just kind of led to me getting scared of the ball. So I wasn't playing and I wasn't watching baseball. This was a low point for many Orioles fans because of the tank fest, but it hit me and my family especially hard because of getting rid of cable and all that. So that was a low point. But in high school, I found a way to watch baseball again through methods that I'd rather not disclose. The golden years of 2022 to 2024 had just begun, where the Orioles were winning a bunch, and I found my new favorite player. And his name was Gunnar Henderson. Gunnar Henderson was a rookie who was just tearing up the big leagues. He made multiple All-Stars and just was an all-around great player. Coincidentally, he wore the number 2 as well, a callback to J.J. Hardy, I hope. I was watching baseball again, and I was having fun doing it because of the Orioles being good again. uh, the Orioles winning felt great, and because of that, my dad's side of the family grew closer than we already were. Through all our differences, there was one thing that brought us together, being Orioles fans. I also got to watch more games as a person. Because COVID was over, that was just kind of the result. I also got to go on trips with fewer people. I got to go on trips to watch the Orioles with just my uncle or just my grandfather. Baseball became the main part of my recreational life, and my dad would watch almost every single game that we could on TV, except for 1:38 p.m. games. However, the Orioles had a rough season this year, and I found myself struggling to convince myself to watch yet another loss each and every day. Next year's our year, that's what they all say, and I truly believe this is true this year. Call me delusional or something, I don't know. I also found myself being more interested in other MLB teams, such as the Kansas City Royals, the Texas Rangers, or the Arizona Diamondbacks. However, despite being slightly more interested in each and every one of these teams, there's always one team that led my heart the most, and that was the Baltimore Orioles. I look stupid in this. The Orioles still hold a special place in my heart to this day, and I hope that this part of me continues for next 10, 15 years till I die, I don't know, and I hope to share this part of me with my future family. Thank you for watching. Please give me a good grade. Thank you.